Hello, my name's Amundson, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Wabash building. So just a little bit about myself. I'm Eric. I am a BFA MT student, or musical theater student, and I'm going to be a sophomore in the fall of 2021, and I've been living here all year. So the reason I wanted to make this video is because when I was in the Facebook Accepted Students group, we had a lot of questions for the upperclassmen about this place, and they weren't uninformed. It's just that this building is a lot to wrap your head around. So I really wanted to go inch by inch and nail this place down because it's a lot different than dorms at other schools. I would like to give a quick disclaimer though, that I am a freshman at the moment. I've only been living here a year, and it's been under COVID rules. So anything you might experience when you get here might be just a little bit different than what I'm going through now. So what you're looking at right now is the floor plan for the 31st floor of the Wabash building, which is where I live. This is going to be your primary tool for figuring out each floor. Now I will be going through and showing the floor plans for every residential floor of this building. The reason for that is because since it has this curvy-wurvy architectural thing going on, it makes every floor a little different, and makes it really hard to find dimensions, which we'll come back to in a bit. But for now, let's talk about the floors. So if you're anything like me, you've never lived in a building with so many floors in it. It can be a little daunting, but once it's in your head, it'll all make perfect sense. For starters, this year, floors 20 through 31 of the Bash are residential. And here's a quick tip. All the cool kids call it the Bash. So we'll start with a quick rundown of what a residential floor on this building looks like. We'll use 31 as an example. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's 3 elevators connecting all the residential floors. They start on 14 and go all the way up to the top. Coming off the elevator, you'll notice 10 suites, 8 of which are residential, 1 for your RA, and 1 is a communal suite, or a lounge of sorts. You'll also see 2 staircases connecting each residential floor, on the northwest and northeast sides of the hallway. You'll also find a trash room off by the lounge suites, and of course, the study rooms. While we're talking about him, by the way, I might as well show you the money shot of all money shots, aka the view out of the study rooms. Hi there again, everybody. It's Eric. You'll notice that my background is significantly different than it was before. That's because I'm back home, and that is how long it's taking me to make this video. Anyway, let's get back to it. So where you're going to start to see exceptions to this floor plan are on the 30th, 27th, 25th, and 24th floors, where the big study room is broken up into a smaller study room and a single dorm. That's about it for the floors though, so let's go ahead and take an in-depth look at each suite. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and take this suite by suite and room by room. I'm going to go ahead and give you some dimensions, some information about each room, how many people you can expect to live there, all that good stuff. Now another quick disclaimer, I will tell you how many people you can expect to live in each room based off of what I experienced this year, but in reality any room that's not very clearly a single can probably house anywhere from 2 to 4 people. So in O1, as soon as you walk in, look to your right and you'll find bathroom number 1 with a toilet and vanity. Back out, you have coat racks on the left. On your left here, you have O1A. At the end of the hall is O1B. And then to your right again, you have the shower room with vanity number 2. Kicking it off strong here, we're heading into O1A here, having one of the best views in the building with those giant windows. Generally used as a double or a triple, so there will be 2 to 3 beds, desks, chairs, and wardrobes in here. And this one has a lot of nooks and crannies in it, so getting a measurement wasn't easy, but it came out to about 23 feet long by 13.5 feet wide. Gonna move right along into O1B, generally used as a triple or a quad, so 3 to 4 of the aforementioned items. This one came out just under 18 by 16 feet. Over in the O2 suite, one of the biggest ones in the building, you have a spare toilet over here, which you can use as a storage room like these folks did. Move over here, you have coat hooks on the left and O2A on the right. O2C in the corner, and then you're gonna hook a left down this little hallway over here. On the right is gonna be O2B and then D. On your left, you'll have your first bathroom and vanity, and there's me. Hi, me. Go ahead and back on out of there, me. On the end of the hall, you have vanity number 2. And then to the left, you have your shower room, which can occasionally combine with the bathroom in that same hallway and make a much larger room, but that's only on some floors, not sure which. O2A is just one heck of a room. It's one they'll definitely show you on a tour you take here. It's so great, the residents of the room are even modeling it for us here just to do it justice. O2A is always a quad, except for on the top floor where it's a double, because it's a little too skinny. But in its quad form, it has 2 sets of bunk beds, 4 desks, 4 chairs, and 4 wardrobes. It has these huge windows wrapping all the way around the west and south sides of the room. The sunlight can get to be a little bit much, but that view is just priceless. It's obviously a massive room and comes out to just over 27 by 13 feet. On the other hand, we have O2 rooms B, C, and D. We're only going to take a look at room C right now because it's the same as the others, each one coming out to about 12.5 feet by 8 feet. Now these are all singles every single time, so you know the drill: 1 bed, 1 desk, 1 chair, and 1 wardrobe. And they're all very small, but maybe it's nicer to think of them as cozy. So unfortunately, there are some suites that I didn't get videos of, so I'm going to use the floor plans to walk you through them, and I'm sure at this point you can start to visualize what they might look like. The first one of these is the O4 suite, which is embarrassingly where I lived. But anyway, let's get into it. So as soon as you walk into the suite, on your left is going to be your vanity, mirror, and sink. Then you go down this hall a little bit, and you'll find your shower room off to the left. Then you go down to the end, and there's sort of your open hangout area with your bench and coat hooks off to the left. And then you have your bathroom at the end of the hallway. And here are which rooms are which. We're going to take a look at rooms in just a bit that are the same as A and B. As for C and D, they're pretty much the same as A. They come out to maybe 16.5 feet by 8 feet, and they're always a single. The O5 suite is pretty much just a mirrored version of the O7 suite that we'll see in a bit. So if you walk in and turn around, you'll see your vanity against that same wall as the door, your coat hooks off to the left, and then to your right will be the bathroom and the shower room in one. So here's which room is which, and again, you'll see what these rooms look like once we get to the O7 suite, because those rooms are pretty much the same. Now the O6 and O8 suites are identical mirror images of each other, so we're just going to cover them together. But for reference, this is an O8 suite. So off to the right here, we have our shower room. Come back out, and you have a nice open communal space with coat hooks and bench over to the left. Got your communal vanity over tucked away in this corner, and your bathroom on the opposite side of the shower. Then in one corner, you'll have rooms A and B, and the other, you'll have C and D. All right, so first we're going to look at O6/O8B, which will be the same size and room as C, but mirrored again. Now this is 12.5 feet by 8 feet, a lot like the O2 singles, but with this little corner back here for the wardrobe, so there's a little more livable space, but again, always a single. Now looking at the O6/O8D room, which will look the same as an A room in those same suites, or the A room in an O4 suite. It's a lot to take in, hope you can catch it all. This comes out to 17 by 8 feet and is one of the biggest singles that you can get. Alright, jumping back over to the O7 suite, we have our coat hooks here on the right. Small little communal space, but it's homey. Got our vanity over here in this corner, and our bathroom off to the side. Shower room over tucked away in this corner, and rooms A and B on this wall. Taking a look at O7A here, this one's currently set up as a double, but that won't always be the case. Measures out to just over 18 feet long by 12.25 feet wide, and you can just see there that north-facing view is pretty incredible. Moving over into O7B, that just over 18 feet by 12 1/4 feet measurement is going to stay true to this room, as well as A and B in both the O5 and O9 suites. So there's plenty of room for plants and stuffed animals alike. And last but not least is the O9 suite. It's a little bit tiny, but it gets the job done. The sink is on the same wall as the door, got coat hooks and a bench over to the left, and just like the O5 suite, there's a shower in the bathroom. Here's which room is which, and just like the O7 suites, 18 feet by 12 1/4. Then there are the 11 suites, and again, these are only on floors 30, 27, 25, and 24. Now, I don't have video or measurements of these, but I can tell you just a little bit about them. I know that they are singles, always. They are large and in charge, and they have some of the most beautiful views in the building. They are the only east-facing residential room, so they get a gorgeous view of the lake. Unfortunately, what I can't tell you is how to get one of these rooms. I imagine they cost a lot more than your average single, so you probably want to get in with the housing office if you really, really want one of these rooms. So I know that that was a lot of information, and the thing you're here for is probably dimensions, so we're going to go ahead and recap all of those real quick. So there's a couple things to remember about these dimensions. First is that I tried to get the most accurate livable space measurement that I could. So if there are little nooks and crannies in your room that are made for your dresser or made for your bed, then I left those alone. Speaking of which is number 2, you got to account for all the furniture that Roosevelt provides for you, which, as you should know by now, is at least one bed, one desk, one chair, and one dresser in every room. And number 3 is that you might have one extra piece of furniture if you choose to rent it, which is the little microwave fridge combo that Roosevelt can offer you. Now, me and my suite mates decided to get 2 of these and share them with our whole suite. And that worked out really well for us. We didn't have to keep them in our rooms. They didn't take up much space. So that might be a good option for you. All right, now I'm going to tell you all the miscellaneous, random information that I forgot to share and that I'm realizing as I'm editing this video. So here's the section where Eric tells you all of the things he forgot to tell you before.
Yeah, all right.
So one cool thing is that every single room has its own thermostat and air conditioning. It is the greatest thing on the planet. That is worth the tuition alone. There is also free laundry, which is pretty nifty. Not about the dorms, but it's cool. Each floor has its own RA who put together events and a theme for each floor. From some of the north-facing rooms, you can actually see the bean. The Wabash building is actually connected to the auditorium building, so if you're in the CCPA, you can walk to your classes and never have to go outside. On the 14th floor, there is one communal real kitchen with an oven and a stove, but you will have to provide your own utensils, pots, and pans. And so that concludes that section.
Yeah.
And that's about it for the dorms. Now there's so many other parts of the Wabash building, like the cafeteria, the gym, the classrooms, that I won't be able to cover in this video. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and hopefully I or another Roosevelt student can answer them. So with that, I hope this video helps, and I'll see you at the bash.